All right, let's talk truck guns. The whole idea has absolutely exploded over the last few years, and for good reason. Having something more capable than your everyday carry pistol stashed in your vehicle just makes sense for a lot of folks. Now, the laws on this can get pretty squirrely depending on where you live, and that's a whole video on its own. Today, we're skipping the legal ESE and jumping straight into the hardware. We're breaking down the best options out there, from rifles that fold into a lunchbox to tactical shotguns that pack a serious punch. First up, the one that feels like it's straight out of a video game, the FDP-9. This is the brainchild of Magpul and Zevtech, and it's a masterclass in concealment. The whole thing folds down into a slick, unassuming little brick, about 11 by 5 inches. You could toss this in a normal backpack,
and no one would ever guess you have a 9mm carbine inside. It's discreet on a whole new level.
Under the hood, you've got Zev OZ9 V2 guts with Gen 5 internals, but they've been heavily reworked for this unique setup. The chassis is 4x140 steel with a black nitride finish, so it's built to last. Deployment is where the magic happens. You just mash down on the ambidextrous charging handle and snap. It unfolds into a ready-to-go firearm. With a little practice, you can get it done in about a second. Unfolded, it's still compact at around 20 inches, but that 7-inch barrel gives it some legs. You can comfortably ring steel out to 200 yards. Let's be honest, it's a close quarters tool first and foremost, but knowing it can reach out is a nice bonus. At an MSRP of $1,600, it's definitely a niche item, but it fills that niche perfectly. Trailblazer Arms Pivot Rifle. If the FDP-9 is a bit too futuristic, check out the Pivot. This 9mm rifle has a different, but equally clever take on the folding concept. Instead of folding in half, the top half literally pivots around the bottom half with the press of a button. The result is a package with a full 16-inch barrel that collapses down to just 21 inches. Think about that. You get carbine ballistics in a package that's barely longer than the barrel itself. It's a smart design that makes you rethink how you can store a rifle. It feeds from standard Glock 19 mags, which is a huge plus, and the barrel is threaded for a suppressor right out of the box. Thanks to a mix of steel, aluminum, and polymer, it weighs in at just 5 pounds naked. Depending on your stock position, it's about 27 to 30 inches long when you're ready to shoot. This thing is a serious contender for a get-home bag or a discreet vehicle gun. Next, we've got a firearm that loves to dance right on that legal line, the Remington TAC-14. This is a 12-gauge pump action that, thanks to its 14-inch barrel and bird's head grip, isn't technically a shotgun. Its overall length of just over 26 inches keeps it out of NFA territory, so no tax. Stamp needed. This thing is a 6-pound handful of close-quarters thunder. It's built for tight spaces like hallways or vehicles. What I really like about it is the action. That pump is just buttery smooth. Seriously, no grit, no hang-ups, just a solid, confidence-inspiring shuck-shuck. The bird's head grip helps manage recoil, and you've got M-lock attachment points on the pump for a light or a hand stop. It's a hefty little beast thanks to that all-steel receiver, which actually helps soak up some of the kick. For a compact, powerful defensive tool, the TAC-14 is tough to beat. After Mossberg blew everyone away with the Shockwave, other companies had to get in on the action. The Charles Daly Honcho is one of the most affordable takes on the concept, coming in at about half the price of a $590 Shockwave. Like the TAC-14, it sports a 14-inch barrel and no stock, keeping it in that firearm category. The bird's head grip is rubberized and has a nice tacky feel, giving you solid control. The forend is beefy and ribbed for a no-slip grip, and even includes a small Picatinny rail section for accessories. It's got an aluminum receiver to keep the weight down, but still uses a tough steel barrel. It will run both 3-inch and 2 3/4 inches shells, giving you plenty of options. If you want to get into the shorty shotgun game without breaking the bank, the Honcho is a solid entry point. Just be ready for the learning curve that comes with any stockless shotgun. Axer Arms FSS Mini. Now, what if you want that compact package but with semi-auto speed? The Axer Arms FSS Mini is your answer. This is a 12-gauge magazine tube-fed semi-auto with a 14-inch barrel, and it has a trick up its sleeve. It folds. This feature allows it to shrink down to a size that can genuinely fit in a laptop bag. It holds 5 rounds, 4.1 of 3-inch, or 2 3/4 inches shells. The controls are simple with a crossbolt safety and a bolt release on the right side of the receiver. The synthetic furniture keeps it light and easy to handle. For a price tag around $450, you're getting a folding, semi-auto, 12-gauge firearm. That's a ton of value and a very interesting option for a trunk or bag gun. If you want the shortest possible shotgun with a stock that isn't an NFA item, look no further than the Kel-Tec KS7. At just 26.1 inches long and weighing under 6 pounds, this thing is ridiculously handy. Kel-Tec simplified their original KSG design down to a single magazine tube, which still holds a respectable 7 rounds of 2 3/4 inches shells. It looks a little weird, I'll admit, but it handles surprisingly well. The pump is easy to grip, the controls are ambidextrous, and it ejects shells straight down, so lefties don't have to eat hot brass. That big carry handle doubles as your sight, featuring a massive green fiber optic triangle that is super fast to pick up for close range work. You can also mount lights and accessories to it. I was genuinely surprised by the KS7. It's reliable, lightweight, and just plain fun to shoot. When Smith & Wesson decided to get back into the shotgun game, they didn't mess around. The M&P 12 is an absolute beast. We're talking a pump-action bullpup with 2 independent magazine tubes. You can load each tube with a different type of shell and switch between them on the fly. Total capacity is insane. 14 plus 1 rounds of 2 3/4 inches shells. It sports 2 M&P-style pistol grips, one in the rear and one on the pump. And you can even swap out the back straps just like on their pistols. It's fully ambidextrous, has a Picatinny rail for optics, M-lock slots, and is compatible with rem chokes. Here's the one catch. The loading process is a bit complex. It's not something you want to be doing under pressure. So that massive 15-round capacity had better be enough to solve whatever problem you're facing, because a tactical reload isn't really in the cards. It's a bit pricey and has that typical plasticky bullpup feel, but for sheer capacity in a compact package, the M&P 12 is king of the hill. Now for something a little different, the Springfield Armory Kuna. The big deal here is the roller-delayed blowback action. What does that mean for you? It means it shoots way softer than your typical direct blowback 9mm AR. Less felt recoil means faster, more accurate follow-up shots. It's a huge upgrade in shootability. The build quality is excellent, with a machined aluminum upper and handguard. It's compact, at just 15.5 inches long with its 6-inch barrel, and weighs about 4.5 pounds. The controls are fully ambidextrous, and it's covered in Picatinny and M-lock for all your accessories. It ships with 2 30-round mags that are tough as nails. It would be nice to see a smaller 20-round option for bag carry, but 30 is a good place to start. If you want a high-end, smooth-shooting PDW, the Kuna delivers. You want that AK vibe without the 7.62 price tag? Palmetto State Armory's AKV has you covered. This is their take on the legendary Russian Vityaz submachine gun, built right here in the USA. It's a simple, robust, direct blowback 9mm that just runs. You get a forged trunnion and bolt, a durable 10.5-inch night-righted barrel, and a Picatinny top rail for easy optics mounting. PSA made some smart upgrades, like an extended safety and a paddle mag release, that are much easier to use than the old-school standard. It even has a last-round bolt hold open. But here's the genius part. It runs on CZ Scorpion mags. They're everywhere, they're affordable, and they work great. PSA even makes their own version that are fantastic. The AKV just gives you everything you want from a 9mm AK, and it does it for less money than the competition. PSA hits again with the Jackal. This thing takes AR-15 ergonomics and marries them to a self-contained upper that doesn't need a buffer tube. The entire recoil system is captured inside the upper receiver. This means you can attach a side-folding brace or stock, making the overall package incredibly compact. You get fully ambidextrous AR controls and a non-reciprocating side-charging handle that you can swap to either side without any tools. With its short 6.5-inch threaded barrel, M-lock handguard, and full-length top rail, it's ready for anything you want to throw at it. For the price, the Jackal 9mm is one of the best deals going for a feature-packed, modern PCC. Smith & Wesson saw how popular their 9mm folding carbine was and decided to give it a serious power boost. Meet the M&P FPC, now chambered in the mighty 10mm auto. It uses the same simple, reliable horizontal folding design. It folds down to just over 16 inches, making it super easy to store. But that 16.25-inch barrel lets you wring every last bit of performance out of the 10mm cartridge. We're talking serious velocity and energy from a PCC. To tame that power, they've built in a tungsten-infused recoil buffer. The FPC shares its grip and flat-faced trigger with the M&P 10mm pistols and uses the same 15-round magazines. The best part? The stock has built-in carriers for 2 spare magazines. That's 45 plus 1 rounds of 10mm on board. With an MSRP of $699, this is a ton of firepower in a very clever, portable package.